The movie begins with a frightened boy named Dale. His father is a drug addict who often tortures his wife after getting high. The same chaos still continues in their home, which terrifies Dale. He hears his mother screaming, and when he opens the door to help her, he sees her covered in blood, asking for help. Dale calls the police. As soon as the police arrive, Dale's father tries to escape but gets shot and killed in an encounter. When the officers enter the room to rescue Dale's mother, they are horrified by a blood-soaked corpse. According to them, the body shows no signs of life, but when Dale enters the room, the body suddenly moves. It is shocking to see someone survive in such a condition. Years pass, and the story shifts to a girl named Sarah who moves into the neighborhood with her husband. Their neighbor is none other than Dale, who now lives alone. Dale looks at Sarah strangely and tells her that it feels like they have met before, although Sarah remembers nothing. It is revealed that about 3 months earlier, Sarah had a terrible accident in which she almost died but somehow survived. That incident changes her. She begins to value life more and wishes to start a family. However, her husband doesn't think it's the right time. One day, while shopping, Sarah sees Dale working at the store. He leaves everything and comes to help her, even loading her groceries into her car. That night, he visits Sarah's home to return the plate in which she had brought cookies earlier. After handing it back, he leaves. Sarah records something and then goes to sleep. So far, everything seems normal, but the next morning is strange. She wakes up from a bad dream and notices her clothes have changed. Her husband Josh didn't come home that night, so she can't ask him what happened. She starts doubting her mental state and visits a doctor, Leslie. Leslie calms her and suggests that she might not have processed the trauma. She shares that he once experienced similar things: interrupted sleep, strange thoughts, and memory lapses. Sometimes it even felt like someone tried to kill him. These symptoms are linked to mental illness. Leslie tells her that people often change clothes or do tasks while sleepwalking without remembering it. She gives her medicine, and Sarah returns home feeling better. But when she sees her clothes from the previous day in the laundry, she is shocked to find bloodstains on them. From that night onward, such incidents keep happening. Each morning, she finds her clothes dirty and smells detergent, as if she spent the whole night cleaning. Meanwhile, Josh is also dealing with his own issues. He had taken some medical tests, and the results weren't good, which makes him extremely upset. One day, Josh is at home and Sarah feels much more relaxed with him. She spends time with him and then begins working on her assignment. While working on study-related recordings, Sarah hears her own screams along with a man's voice in the background. The voices terrify her, and she rushes to Josh to share the recording. But to her horror, she finds Josh dead on the table, suffocated with a plastic sheet. Just as she tries to remove the sheet to save him, someone pulls her back, and suddenly Sarah wakes up. It is another terrifying nightmare. She is lying next to Josh, and both are perfectly fine. The next morning, Sarah feels deeply disturbed. She wonders how a dream can feel so realistic. In her dream, when the man dragged her, her phone had fallen from her hand, and now in real life, her phone is actually broken. 2 weeks pass. Every day during this time, Sarah feels like someone is attacking her or trying to kill her. She visits her doctor and explains everything: the broken phone and a head injury she recently had, which has now healed. The injury was severe and occurred just 3 months ago. Leslie is stunned by her story. Josh also begins to understand that Sarah is mentally distressed. To help her, he takes her on a vacation. They stay at a hotel. Josh spends 7 days with her, and during this time, nothing unusual happens. Sarah feels relaxed and peaceful. After returning, she tells Leslie that maybe Leslie was right. It was all due to stress, and things became normal after the vacation. However, after returning home, Sarah starts feeling physically unwell. She experiences weakness, dizziness, and vomiting without any clear reason. One day, while heading out for shopping, she runs into Dale, who oddly asks her where she had been for 7 days, as if he is her husband. Sarah doesn't respond, but she senses something strange. After Dale leaves, Sarah sneaks into his house through the back door. The house is in terrible condition, with the kitchen completely messed up. All the kitchen shelves are filled with only one brand of cookies and popcorn, the exact ones Sarah likes. On the table, she finds some photographs of Dale's mother, but they don't look normal. Pictures resemble those of a dead person, with strange writings on the back. Near the table, Sarah finds a box. Inside, there are many keys. She remembers Dale had taken her keys at the mall once. It's possible he made a duplicate key to her house at that time. She also finds several photographs inside the box. all of dead women. One of them is of Sarah herself, and in the photo she clearly looks dead. This discovery shocks her completely. In a state of shock, she forgets to leave Dale's house. Suddenly, Dale returns and finds Sarah inside. He becomes furious, picks up a hammer, and attacks her. But then, Sarah suddenly wakes up again, another terrifying nightmare. She calls Leslie to her house. Leslie suspects that Sarah is now experiencing hallucinations. But Sarah remembers everything clearly. She had gone out, so how did she end up back inside the house? Why are there blood marks on her hands? Disturbed, Sarah steps outside the house and finds Dale standing there. This time, Dale completely ignores her. Sarah approaches him and asks if he saw her come out of the house, whether she fainted or not. Dale replies that he was standing there the whole time and never saw her leave the house. Just then, Leslie also arrives and recognizes Dale. He says Dale used to deliver groceries to her house as well, but stopped coming after he got a dog because Dale hates dogs. Sarah becomes even more confused. Sarah returns home with Leslie, but as soon as she arrives, her health suddenly deteriorates. During the checkup, in the middle of a tense atmosphere, they receive surprising news. Sarah is pregnant. This is what she had always wished for. She feels extremely happy and plans a surprise for Josh that night to share the good news. However, as soon as Josh hears the news, his expression changes. He becomes deeply upset and suspects that Sarah has cheated on him, because he knows he can never become a father. That is why, whenever Sarah brings up family planning, Josh avoids the conversation and often disappears for days. Tests Josh underwent earlier in the movie also confirm his infertility. Sarah tries to explain that she has never betrayed him, but Josh refuses to believe her. In anger, he leaves the house. Sarah becomes heartbroken. From this point on, fear consumes her. She begins to believe that the disturbing thoughts she experiences are not just dreams or hallucinations. Someone is actually abusing her. That night, she installs a CCTV camera in her room. She also invites her doctor, who has now become a close friend, to stay over with her dog. Despite all these precautions, strange things still happen. Someone sneaks into the house, unnoticed by both Sarah and Leslie. Only the dog senses the presence and follows the intruder downstairs, barking loudly. Hearing the noise, Leslie wakes up and heads downstairs to quiet the dog, but she finds the dog stabbed. She screams in horror. Sarah rushes after her and sees that someone has stabbed Leslie as well. Then, the same attacker kills Sarah. Suddenly, Sarah wakes up. It was all a nightmare. But the most shocking part is that Leslie had the exact same dream. Also, Leslie's dog is missing from the house. Leslie becomes extremely stressed and experiences labor pain. Sarah takes her to the hospital where she gives birth to a baby boy. However, the baby looks nothing like Leslie's fiancé. Everyone is left wondering, whose child is it? Amidst the confusion, Leslie calls Sarah and suggests there might be something wrong in her house, possibly some paranormal activity. She urges Sarah to move in with her immediately. But Sarah refuses. She wants to know what's really happening in her own home. Night falls again and Sarah goes to bed, this time with the camera already turned on. The next morning, she wakes from another horrifying nightmare, but this time she is completely unclothed. Alarmed, she checks the camera footage and is shocked. Her suspicion proves true. During the night, someone enters the house, ties her up, abuses her, and then slits her throat. The attacker is none other than Dale. But the real mystery is, how is Sarah still alive? After killing her, Dale cleans the entire house, places Sarah back on the bed, treats her wounds, and performs CPR. After that, he leaves and Sarah wakes up. Terrified, she grabs her laptop and rushes to Leslie to show her the footage. What happened was horrifying, but the biggest question remains. How is Sarah still alive? They search for information about Dale online and find an incident from 12 years ago. Police had found the corpse of Dale's mother, Ellen, and declared her dead. But when they entered Dale's room, she suddenly came back to life. Sarah decides to meet Ellen at the mental asylum. She visits and asks Ellen about her son, Dale. Ellen does not hide anything. She tells the entire truth. Ellen reveals some shocking truths about her son. She explains that the night she died, Dale blew air into her mouth and miraculously brought her back to life. That was when he discovered his supernatural ability, the power to revive anyone by blowing into them. After this discovery, Dale starts misusing his power. Every night, Dale tortures, abuses, and kills a woman, only to bring her back to life before morning. Ellen cannot tolerate her son's horrific acts. Though she fails to stop him, she repeatedly tries to end her own life, but every time Dale revives her. Pictures found in Dale's room are photos of Ellen's suicide attempts. Behind each photo, there is a description of the incident. Once, she tries to jump to her death. Another time, she slits her wrist. Dale documents each attempt, taking pictures as memories. Ellen desperately wants to escape from Dale's control. Eventually, she comes up with a plan. She pretends to set herself on fire outside the house. Police arrive, rescue her, and take her to a mental asylum. She tells Sarah that she finally feels relaxed and happy there. At least now, she doesn't have to bake cookies to feed Dale in exchange for being brought back to life. Ellen then makes a request. Now that Sarah knows the full truth, she must kill Dale and end this nightmare. Sarah returns home, fully aware that Dale will come to her house that night. She arms herself with a gun and points it at the door as soon as it opens. A hooded man enters, and she fires 3 rounds instantly. But to her horror, the man is not Dale. It is Josh, who had come to make peace with Sarah. Dale had tied up Josh, dressed him in his own clothes, and sent him into the house. Josh is already dead. This breaks Sarah completely, but then she gets an idea to bring Josh back to life. She moves closer to Dale and kisses him, using it as an opportunity to take his breath. Then she blows Dale's breath into Josh's mouth, and Josh comes back to life. Seeing this, Dale becomes furious and charges at Sarah. But before he can attack, Sarah shoots him. She knows she can't let Dale live any longer. Now that Josh is safe, Dale no longer has a purpose. Dale dies from the gunshot. The moment he dies, everyone he ever revived begins to die again. Screams echo throughout the city. The women Dale once tortured and brought back to life, more than 100 of them, start collapsing one by one. Along with them, Josh, Dale's mother Ellen, and even Leslie all die. It becomes clear that Dale had also abused and killed Leslie at one point, only to revive her later. However, one person does not die, the baby boy. It is revealed that the child is Dale's biological son. The movie ends with a final scene focused on this child.